Well, hey guys, welcome to part 3 here. Just giving you a little bit of update, what I've been working on, what I haven't been working on. I'm going to try to do a little bit of footage here of what, like actually showing me work on it, but I have done some work here. I've got a little spotlight here I don't want to blind you because these lights right here don't put out that good. So I've been cleaning on the bedroom. And what I found that works on these walls really good is take some mean green. Where is it at? It's a wreck in here. What do they do with the mean green? I don't know. But you can get it at the dollar store. Oh, there it is. You can get it at the dollar store. Walmart sells it, So mean green. So what I was doing is I was spraying it with mean green and then take a little brush, little brush right here, because it's textured. You can't just spray it and wipe it down. You have to scrub it. So I'd spray it and I'd scrub and then wipe it off with paper towels and it'd come off, because this wallpaper is textured. So if you just try to spray it and wipe it off, you can see all the soot in the texture of it. Let's see here. And I have got, did I talk about taking the stove out? Maybe I did. Yeah, I think I did in part 2. I got a garbage can because I've been peeling off the wallpaper. I cleaned this a little bit, but you can tell it won't clean. You can see the line here. So I'm trying to figure out how far to peel and where to stop, and just go over the top of it with wallpaper. Try to clean it up as best I can, to get rid of the soot smell. So, and if you look up here, can you see what is dirty and what's clean? I'll tell you what I've been doing, it's still a little dirty. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but you can kind of see where it's still just a little bit, not 100%, but it's a good start. I mean, it's a big difference if you can see between the two of what's nasty and what's clean. And what I've been doing with that is I've been taking mean green and spraying it off in little sections. And then I have one of these little Bissell spot cleans my wife has had for years, and you can't pour it in this and use this, because when you're doing it upside down, the spray will just spray back down on the ground. So I would take mean green and spray like a little section out, let it kind of sit there for a minute, use this to vacuum it up, and then go back over it with a 50-50 bleach and water mix in a spray bottle here, and then go back over it again with this, and it's done pretty good. Like I said, I was going to rent a rug doctor, so I'm going to go back over it with one of those rug doctor attacks. This is just enough to get it in decent condition. I did a little test here, and just how clean it is. I took this light out and did around. Let me turn this light out. Yeah, I can see it a lot better. So I took this light out and let it hang, and then did under here. You can see it a lot better now. I cleaned the light out, but the light's stained. But yeah, much better here. Back on. All right, now I did this mirror. This mirror won't come off. I thought this mirror, you could just take these screws out and take this off. It's glued on there, so these are just for looks. So I've got up around there, and you can see where I've stopped right there, and where the soot begins. There's that. I have cleaned the front up here, and I filmed me for cleaning it. I cleaned all of this up here, just the wood part. Cleaned all the wood part, and that's all I did, and inside it out. I cleaned the TV up and everything. I haven't done the dash or anything yet. So, and what I'll do is I would work on this wallpaper for a little bit. I'd get tired of working on it, and then I'd go back up cleaning this. till I get tired of that. Then I go back there in the bedroom and start cleaning on that. But the bedroom is pretty clean so far. I cleaned all the. I would just spray them with mead green and then wipe it off. I've got hot water right here I've been using and Murphy's Oil, but it's leaving a residue on it. You could, I mean, because it's so sooty, and you have to just wipe it up with a paper towel. It's leaving a you know. So I'll clean this and this. Clean that wall. The mirror, I'm gonna have to go back. It's got some smear stains on it. I've used Windex. I've cleaned everything up here. I still got to clean this corner right here. I had to remove the day-night shade right here because you can repair them. I think maybe I mentioned about replacing them, but I've seen where you can repair them, and you can buy these kits. It's string, and you restring it. So I'll rip. That one's got to be. That one's good. I got it open. This one's got to be fixed. This one's got to be fixed. And that one right there, that's kicked up like that. I think you might have seen it earlier in the video. But the rest of them, that one's working good. This one's working good. So you can see where it's burnt the wood right there. That's still wallpaper on here. It's off, and it's peeled up some of the wood right there. I wanted to just kind of sand it down and go back over it, but I may kind of stop right here and then sand all this down and then cut it here and try to get that off, that especially right there. You know, just come on down and then a little bit there and then just go back over it. You know, that I may leave alone. That's clean, and just replace it right here, because this cabinet, like I've said, this cabinet was open when this fire happened. That's why this was all disgusting in here. Now I did a little test cleaning here, as you can see. You can see this right here. See, can you see this right here is where I test cleaning it using that, what I did, and it just shows me what's burned in 1/8. See, that's all that's burnt. This is all burnt right in here, singed. A lot of this right in here is singed. Like this will come clean. This will just partially come clean. So what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna take some white paint and a bristle brush and just dab it. That's all you can do, unless you want to cut it out and replace it, and I don't want to do that. Now I did a little test spot right here by just using a brush and scrubbing it, and it's done a bad job. You know, it cleaned it, but it was too much work, and you can see where it's flared it up real, you know, all the wool, and made it stand up, and it's not nice and flush like it is here. So, yeah, cleaned off the counter. I was using this is a hair dryer that was left in here, so I'm using it to help peel up some of the wallpaper. Got a bag taped in there where all the trash will go in there and not down in the bottom. And I found a replacement sink. It's gonna be about $100 because I'm not gonna be able to. This is all like fiberglass type. You put something on it, it'll just, you know, I'm gonna replace it. This, I've asked some opinions on forums and they said repair it. So I've got as you can see the gap right there in it, I'm gonna try to see if I can heat it up with a propane burner. You know, maybe from the bottom or something. You know, get the sink out of here and kind of do it from the bottom, and then push down on it. I wish I had it like a big old huge one of those old cooking irons, or not cooking irons, irons you use. You know, you would put them in a fireplace, and you know, and heat them up, and just sit it down on top of that. Iron your clothes with, but an old one, you know, it was all cast iron, and just sit it down on there when it's super hot, been in the fire, you know, and then push down on it. And then once I get this flat, it's got a crack right here in it, and then I'll epoxy it and then sand it down, because what I've been told is Corian countertop, this design is all the way through, completely through the countertop. So once I get this flat, I'll epoxy this and just sand this off and then polish it. And then, see, I got a stain here. I think I can just sand that out right quick. And then this was laying here. I think when we come up here and looked at it, maybe I didn't move it, but this was laying right here when this fire happened. That's what saved that little spot there. So that was laying like that, like they laid it over here and then the fire happened. So that's why this part of the cabinet, as you can see. So I'm gonna try to do the same thing to this. I'm gonna try to sand it down. Got a crack in it right here. I'm gonna try to epoxy. So what I'm gonna try to do. But yeah, it's just a long time of coming. All right, guys. Been working on the ceiling, as you can see. See the line pretty good there. There's still a little bit of dingy spots I'll have to go back over. But I found like 2 different methods that work pretty good. I've got the ceiling in the bathroom pretty clean. I mean, there's still just a little bit. I took the showers apart. Pretty easy. Let me open it up here. It's still nasty on the inside, but I'm gonna wait to clean all this because, you know, I've got the camper winterized, so once it gets to the weather, because right now it's January 19th, 20th, and we got that big storm about a week ago, and it's been iced over outside. So I'm gonna wait till when it gets nice weather and I can be able to hook my water up, you know, freeze at nights and stuff, and be able to unwinterize it. And then I'm gonna clean all this. I had a shower head and a hose, but on my flare the hose broke, so I robbed the hose out of this one to put on the flare to be able to sell it. And I have sold the flare. I got $8,000 out of it, and got it last week. Guy come and got it last weekend right before the storm hit. So yeah, it's been gone for a week and 1 day, 8 days. So yeah, I got $8,000, and I started working on this thing and really started working on it because it kind of freed me. You know, now I can focus on this. But yeah, let me get in here. But you could take these shower doors off. Let me back up here. There we go. You can take these shower doors off. Take a screw out here, 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 and here, and this whole top rail will come off, and these doors will come. Well, it'll become a 3-piece. This will come off, and then these will slide out. You pull them this way, and they'll slide out. And I was able to clean up in here and up in there, and clean this wall, and get in there and clean this in here. That's the only way you can clean them. And I thought I'll clean everything else once I have water hooked back up. Okay. Let's leave it at 0.6. Okay. All right. Now I've cleaned the ceiling. I did clean the mirrors, but I got to go back and re-clean them. As you can see, this is the old bed sheets, and I use it to cover stuff up. I found 2 different ways to clean the ceiling. You can do, I think I mentioned earlier part of the video that I was using mean green and then using this and then the shop vac, and I found something a lot better. Is going and buying a brand new top of the line shop vac. This has helped out tremendously. I pretty much did all of this from about that second light with the cover missing, you know, all of this all yesterday, that far. And there's 2 different ways that I can clean it. Is using a spray bottle with a hot water with a little bit of OxyClean in it, or using the mean green. And you have to saturate it. Like when you spray, you have to saturate. You have to make sure it's wet. So like when I spray and do like a little square, like say I do a square like this, I have to spray and I line it out, and then I just go back and really saturate it. Now the OxyClean, I can really kind of saturate it, but the problem is that it'll start foaming up and making bubbles in the bottles, and then the sprayer will quit working. Then I got to put my finger over the end of the sprayer and then squirt, try to get it going back and get it to start going back to spraying. And it was just a nightmare. I thought about buying one of those little battery operated sprayers that you can hook a tank to and have a little hose. And then when you try to put it vertical, or not vertical, horizontal, so when you have the sprayer like that, it'll quit working, and you have to have an angle, and it'll just spray down and be all over the floor. So then I went back and using the mean green, and it just does, a lot of it is about getting it wet with some kind of cleaner. And then the shop vac, it's got so much power, it'll suck the eyeballs out of your head. This thing is, it's the biggest one that Lowe's sells and most powerful one, and it'll suck the soot out of this thing. So, and you can see I'm gonna wait and do that last, this line right here. So, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to finish this today. So, and I'll hook him up here to see. I thought about, showing every little move I make, a lot of people do, but I just don't have enough camera memory on this phone to be able to record all this stuff and make it fast. I have to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and it just, because I'm kind of lazy when it comes to editing. I want to record everything in my phone, edit everything in my phone, and post it right to YouTube on my phone, instead of moving everything to the computer and moving it back and so on and so forth. I just rather not do that. I'm kind of a lazy editor. So, yeah. And this is what I've cleaned right here. This is what's burnt. This will not come off, and this is what's burnt. As you can see here, there, and there. That's all burnt. That will not come clean. This was coming clean pretty good. I got to do a little bit more cleaning there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a beige white paint and just dab it with a brush and get all that cleaned in there. That's what I'm going to do. And then, like, I had these mirrors all clean, but all the spraying up here is kind of run down the mirrors. That's why that mirror is kind of dingy now. So, I mean, the bedroom's pretty clean. So you can see, like, see, I've made stains here, and I had all this stuff cleaned up here. This stuff will just come clean. See, I think this is when I was doing the OxyClean back here, and it ain't gonna hurt nothing. And I quit doing the bleach. I had the bleach, I was spraying it with I think originally I was spraying it with the mean green, using the vacuum, and then going back with the 50-50 bleach water mix. And the bleach scared me. That's why I started using this, because you can see all the bleach got on it and stained it. And I've got like a little bleach. See that little spot right there? That's a bleach spot. And then there's a little bit in here. There's a spot here, and a spot here, and here, and here, and here, there. There's there a little bit. That's bleach. That's where it dripped. I got to quit using that bleach, or this half of this carpet will look like them sheets in there. So, and I really do not want to replace this carpet. Like I said, I'm gonna go back over it with Rug Doctor. But yeah, that's whole clean. I've cleaned this vent. I took it in the house and cleaned it with a brush, and I cleaned this light. These lights has got like a little stain on it, as you can see. Can you see the stain? Got a little stain. So I don't know, if I want to replace them or not. I thought about, see, here's a lot of my vents that I took down, and I took rags and stuffed up in the hose to keep from the heat. It's like 15 degrees outside right now, because I live in, like I said, Tennessee Valley, and we had that big huge storm that come through about a week ago, and temperatures has been down in the single digits. So I've got the furnace going, and I just come out here. It's Sunday morning, so I just come out here to try to let it get warmed up in here to continue working. But there's you can see there's that shop vac box that I bought, $129. Because I'm gonna try to like I said, I'm gonna try to finish that. I'm gonna try to get all the way to the TV and finish all this today, which I should, and then kind of go back over some of my spots, and then go back working on. Because I figured the hardest part of all this is cleaning the soot off the ceilings. To me, that's the hardest part of everything. So what I'm gonna do is, like, let's see, which vents. I think these 3 vents are in good shape, and then these 3 are the melted ones. So these 3 are in good shape, and I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna take them in there. Once I get all these vents down, I'm gonna take them all in there, all the good ones, and I'm gonna try to take this one back down. because I cleaned it with a brush, but it's still dingy. So I'm gonna take that vent back down, and then take these 3, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 vents up there. I'm gonna take them down, and I'm gonna put them all in the dishwasher. I don't have nothing to lose, because technically I could buy these beige these for a couple bucks. So I'm gonna try to save them and put them in the dishwasher and see if I can get some heat and burn them off there. And my wife's like, "Oh, you'll warp them." I'm like, "So if they can't come clean, I'll just replace them." Yeah, I can get some beige paint over them, I guess. You know, that little dinge I can't get off. So I got rag stuffed in this one and rag stuffed in this one, because 3 of them is 1, 2, and I think this one here. But the ones that has to be replaced is this one, that one, and that one there. The rest of them is salvageable if I can get that soot off of them. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and clean. I'll do a little video of me so showing you how I clean it, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, that's a big difference, ain't it? Look at that. Yeah, I can see where a little spot there and a little spot there, I think. But look at that. I mean, it's time. You waste a lot of mean green because you got to spray every little bit. But the OxiClean works just as good. But like I said, it would foam up. It would foam up and quit spraying. It would probably be all right if I had one of those battery-powered sprayers and had a little tank and a hose, and I was able to hold it completely horizontal like this. Whereas in bottles, I have to have a little bit of an angle to be able to for them to work. You know, they're not made to work horizontal. But like a battery powered one will, you know, because the tank is not. It's not really it's not the sprayer. It's just the you know, the liquid and the hose and how that's laying sideways and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you know, OxiClean just did just as good. It just you know, if I had it, I could put it in one of those mean green bottles and it'd probably be all right. I mean, it's not making a mess. It's not dripping everywhere. Whatever spraying is going straight in there with the mean green. I think it's more of the bottle, the way the bottle and the sprayer is designed to go more horizontal. But both of them are just you know, just something in there. I tried it with just regular water because I was having problems with the OxiClean sudding up and messing the sprayer up. But I tried it with regular water just to saturate it. I thought, well, that, you know, whatever water drips off, it won't make a mess and stuff. But it would not clean with just regular water. Because I thought, well, maybe I could just, you know. But that mean green, look at that. So there you go, guys. If y'all ever have a little fire and you set up your wool ceiling and you want to figure out, because I tried to do a Google search on this and I could not find anything. You know, how to get soot off a carpet ceiling in an RV. Nothing. You can find water stain cleanup all day long, and that's where I got the OxiClean idea. You can find it in the 50-50 bleach idea, 50 bleach, 50 water idea. You can find out stuff, all kind of YouTube videos, but stuff like this you just can't find. You know, there's people, I guess something like this happens, and if they got full coverage, I guess they end up being salvaged. And this, you know, I don't know. There's probably a chance that if I hadn't bought this RV would probably be sitting in a junkyard right now. You know, but they could be somebody could have with a carpet ceiling like this, and that's the stinker, is this carpet ceiling. I guarantee if it had a regular ceiling, it'd have a carpet ceiling, just had like a, I don't know, some kind of maybe vinyl ceiling or something like that in it. It wouldn't have got totaled. They would have had it fixed, because it would have all wiped. It could have been wiped down real easy. So there you go. All right, guys. Show you what I've got done so far here, or what I'm working on. I'm replacing the manifold gaskets in the passenger side and the driver's side, which I'm waiting on. I've got the manifolds out on both sides. I'm just waiting on the manifolds to be resurfaced. So, but I've got all my parts. I got new gaskets, as you can see there. There's the passenger side. You can see that front cylinder is black underneath it. That's where there's a leak at the bottom. But the other 3 cylinders didn't leak on this side. So that's what I'm waiting on. Same on this side. It's hard to film in there. They got a plate right here. It's a heat shield for all that wiring, so you have to kind of go up in there and go down in there. And it had a leak on the back cylinder. What else? I have got a new cover for the generator. And there it is. So there's nothing wrote on it because this was made for a bunch of different models. So I guess, you know, you would buy a sticker kit maybe and put, you know, what it needs to be on there. I may or may not. But yeah, see. Yep. $150. I couldn't get a used one because I talked to a guy who sells parts off these things up in Kentucky, and he told me usually when these campers get salvaged, it's usually because they're wrecked or a little fire inside or something. He said usually the generators are fine and they don't want to part them out. They sell them in whole. So I was trying to save a few bucks by getting used them, but I couldn't. Before I show you what's on this table here, let's step up in here. It's a little trashy, but I have finally got the ceiling clean. Okay. I have cleaned the dash. Now I haven't cleaned that dash, but the cluster here, I cleaned all that. What else? Oh, the biggest thing is, ta-da! Yeah. Now I got that's what's on the, see, that's the Corian countertop. And there's a sink laying over on my junk. That's my little junk pile. Once I'm finished with this thing, I'll haul everything off. But yeah. I just took it. That's what I've been working on today. Is trying to figure out how to get that sink out of here. Because I've done some research and everybody told me to fix the countertop but replace the sink. Because the sink can't be really repaired. And you could buy a sink for, I think, $100. They're kind of expensive, and I was thinking, man, am I going to have to, you know, pull this whole cabinet out of here? But I was luckily, I had like 1 screw here, 2 here. I couldn't get from the bottom, so, because this was in the way, so I had to go in from the side. And 2 there, 2 there, 2 here, 2 here. And then this was attached to the bottom of it. So I had to take the screws out here and here to be able to lift it up to get these screws out, because you couldn't really get in there real good from down here. So that was easier. And then there was a bit of caulk, as you can see, all the way down. And this was all one piece, but I ended up breaking it right here. Not the Corian, but that piece right there. I may take a little bracket and put a screw here and a screw when I reattach it. It just couldn't. When I was getting it up and trying to cut the caulking out of there, it broke. It would have, if I didn't break it there, I would have broke it out here, filling with it on the table here. So, all right, let's walk out here. Show you the sink here. Yeah, I got the sink. Yeah, the sink was a booger to get out. Yeah, they told me this can't really be repaired. That if you did repair it, you know, technically you would repair it some kind of fiberglass with Bondo. Well, I guess I could have repaired it, but yeah. But yeah, there's that piece that broke off right there. You can see the Corian is just on top of this fiberboard. Stand it up here. You see, there's my little burn spot. A little crack in it. Yeah, this is pretty light. Yeah, and there's a lot easier to work it out here. I've been taking some stuff and scraping a lot of it off. I'm gonna try to heat it up from the bottom. I'm gonna try to take one of the little propane torches and just heat it from the bottom and push down on it with some wood. You know, I'm afraid if I push with any kind of metal or something, it might absorb the heat or something, but the wood won't. And just keep heating from the bottom, keep heating from the bottom. I may have to heat up here a little bit, because about as far as you can go, the Corian's about this deep. So, and this is still bowed right in here too. So I may have to heat up in here a little bit. You know, I'm gonna have it on some sawhorses when I do all this, so the bottom, I can get to the bottom. I can just go up here with the propane and down here and up here and down here and push down until I get it level and get it to where it don't have that hole in the side of it here. And then sand all this down. You know, and all this will sand down. I did crack it right here getting that, because they had it caulked. It was caulk, a bead of caulk up around this thing. It was, I had to just take a little screwdriver and cut it and go down the side of it. It was a pain. So this is what I'm working on today. And what I'm gonna do is I may go back working on the walls here in a little bit, do some more sanding, because I'm gonna run wallpaper all the way down to the top of that wood. They did butt the countertop all the way up in, so it's not. Now this I'll have to butt up against it. I think this might be glued on, but yeah, this is pure Corian right here. Yeah, I'll just butt it up the best I can and run me a bit of caulk on top of it. So yeah. So that's so far, guys. I still gotta do a lot more cleaning, but you know, so far progress. Hey guys, back at you here. As you can see, I got a new sink. My old one here, obviously, and there's the new one. I got this from Rec Pro for a little over $100, and it's identical. Can't hardly tell any difference in it. I just got this in the mail a couple days ago. I just took it out of the box. But yeah, I had to just, I don't know how I found it, but I just did some searches and searches, you know, and I've got to drill, obviously, you know, 3 holes out, and they're a little off. And then I'll have to drill this hole out for the filtered water thing. And because I kind of want that, you know, back original. So I had this thrown in my junk pile. But so there we go on that. I'll grab this up and throw it in my junk pile. I just wanted to show the difference in it. But some new updates here. Obviously, I still ain't got manifolds back on yet, but I did get them back yesterday. But you know, the only thing I'm missing now is my studs, because obviously my junk pile. I'm gonna wait once I'm completely done with RV. I'll throw all this away, but this is my junk pile. So anything I'm throwing away from the RV is going in this pile. And then once I'm done, all this will be cleaned up. And ain't no big deal in the wintertime without mowing the yard. So, but the studs that I got in the mail were too big. Maybe I mentioned it. You know, when I shoot these, it's been 2 weeks since I filmed and stuff. But the studs were too big. So I got a return on them, and I ordered the right ones, and they may be here today. I don't know. That's the only thing I'm still waiting on as far as the manifolds. Putting manifolds on. But I still got the manifolds in my trunk. I picked them up at work yesterday. So here they are. Look pretty good. So I'm just leaving them here. It's a little sprinkle until. So yeah. So there's that. What else have I got? Yeah, I'm fixing to work on this the countertop today. I'm gonna try to work on some of the sanding on it. I think I mentioned when I had the countertop on the table I hear about getting a chemical kit for repair. Well, I made 3 phone calls, actually 4 phone calls, maybe, yeah, 4 phone calls this past week. I called Winnebago to try to find out. Well, I did some research before I called them online about, the Corian countertop. The Corian countertop. And I did a little bit of research and come to find out that some of these campers has got the cheaper Vendura countertop, don't have Corian. But it's advertised as Corian. When people sell these used, they'll say, oh, Corian countertop, and porcelain toilet, which it is porcelain, but yeah, Corian countertop, but it's a cheaper Vendura. And so you could call Winnebago and give them the VIN number, and they'll tell you everything you want to know about this RV. How it was built from the ground up, what they used here, what they used there. So I asked them 2 questions. What kind of countertop? Let's go in here. It was, what color? Yeah, I am super trashed in here. God, this thing's a dump. But here's the countertop. About what kind of countertop this is. Obviously I found out it was Vendura, but what color? What design? And they told me it was called Almondine. And so I found that out, and then I asked them about the wallpaper, and she had to do some research on that and would email me the results on it, and I got the results on it, and it was I can't even remember the name of the company that made this wallpaper, and I can't hardly find them. I can't find the design. It's kind of like, from what I gather, the company that made these are no longer in business. So I'm kind of hosed on the wallpaper. I'll have to just find something close. And I did. Home Depot had something that was super, super close that I've already ordered. It'll be here Monday. And I'm going to, I just kind of quit peeling this off. I just, got rid of the seams, and I'm going to, sand all this down. And I'm just going to start right here and roll it up. It's vinyl peelable, and I'm just going to cover all of this and sand it just a little bit, just to where it'll hold better. And I'm just going to go all the way to right here. And I'm going to kind of go up in behind that door a little bit and go all the way and just stop it right here. And then all the way down. I'm going to put the wallpaper before I put the countertop back on, because I want the wallpaper to go in behind the countertop. So, yeah. So there's that. So I found out both of those. About the Almondine. And I got a hold of, so I found Vendura website, found their phone number, called them, and they put me through to this guy, accountant manager, about the, they still make Almondine. They still make that design and sell 20 years later. And I talked to a guy, and he said, I'm kind of busy right now, but give me your email, and I'll email you in a couple of days of the chemical and what it costs and everything. You just pay me, and then I'll ship all this out. Take a couple days, ship all this out. So I did that, and finally got an email last night, and it's going to cost $100 for the kit. And what I do is when I talked to the guy on the phone, I asked him about heating, because I heard Corian, you can heat that up with a heat gun and kind of mash it down. He says, well, Corian, you can do that, and then Vendura won't do that. So however it just is. And I said, well, heat made it rise up. I said, couldn't heat make it kind of come back down a little bit? And he said, I just suggest sanding it down, which if I can't get it to come down, I will sand it down. It's just a camper. It ain't got to be perfect. It ain't like doing it in the house. So there's that. I think when I get the wallpaper put up, the countertop put back in, sink put in, the stove put back in, even without painting the ceiling and getting the cabinet back in there, we'll be over the hump and going downhill on the hook, and getting the manifold back on, and we'll be on the downhill hump part. So yeah, Yeah, I'm fixing it's gonna rain all day Saturday, so I'm gonna work on that countertop in the garage a little bit, see if I can get it to come down. And obviously I can't install it until I get the wallpaper up. Obviously, like I said, I want it to go in behind the countertop. It'll look more real, and then caulk it in and everything. So yeah. Oh, the awning. I guess in part one, you seen the awning out right at the end, and then when I was filming in part two, the awning's rolled in, so you don't never really get to see the awning. You know, obviously it's gonna have a new awning. It's got what they call this weather shade awning on it. Yeah, it's called weather or weather shield. All right, and it's made by A&E, the medic. And I thought, well, I have to have a special, unless I want to eliminate the weather shield, I have to have a special awning that adapts to the weather shield, because the weather shield is attached to the awning itself. It looks, you would think it was attached to like the camper itself, and the awning was just under it, but it's not. The awning is attached to the camper just like normal, and the weather shield is attached to the awning. So it is, one company makes them, replacements. They use the original weather shield, and it's $2.99 for this. It's 18 foot from center to center. It's 18 foot. And I called them on the phone and asked them what their lead time was, because I thought something like that, they bet you know, it'd probably take 2 months to get awning. And a woman said about 3 days, 3 or 4 days. She said, yeah, they make it to order, but they haven't done in like 3 days. So in less than a week, by the time I ordered, it'd be shipped out. I said, good. Obviously, I've got 2 months, a little over 2 months before we head to Washington, D.C. with this thing. So I would just, you know, because if it's like a month lead time, I would order it right now. Since it's not, I'm gonna wait a couple more weeks, because that's $300, you know. So yeah, there's that. So that's where we're at on it so far. Yeah, I'm gonna get to work on this coring countertop right here, and then we'll do some footage of it. All right, that's what we got so far. As you can see, look how level it is. It's not raised up. It's pretty flat. It's still got just a small hump in it, which I believe I can sand down. And even, I mean, it's flat right here, so it won't show. And how I did this is I took a heat gun. This was stuff that I scraped off, you know, on my other part of the video when I had it on the table outside there, and scraped a lot of this off with a little screwdriver. But I took a heat gun, high setting, and I just heated it, and then I had a 4x4 block I laid here, and I laid the heat gun just on there and just let it run. Let her get good and hot. And once I did that, then I took the block of wood that I had laying here and laid it down, and then laid a cinder block on top of that, and then a big 12-volt battery on top of that, because I had to keep stacking to get this to lay flat. And I left it until it cooled down. And I'm absolutely tickled that it's down. And now I took a Dremel drill and drilled out so it would have some give when it would go down. And obviously I'm gonna use the repair kit to fix that once it's sanded down. I got a little chip there I gotta give. That's the 2 chips in this. And then this is my sanding table. Been sanding on this with 80 grit paper. Done a little bit of water. First, I'm trying to sand down as much as I can and put a little water on, trying to get a little more better. So that's the part that actually sits in the sink. The other one for the other side was, I think, somewhere else, and it didn't get no burn marks on it. You know, you seen this earlier. And then this is, all right, I'll zoom in there. There's the stove top, and this was split already. Let me zoom back out. So that's that piece that goes there, and this is how well this is sanding. So that's that piece that's missing, goes right there. So there's the heat gun. So look at the difference. That's pretty good. So I still got to do some more sanding. That's 80 grit to get it like that. Just sanding her down. I first did it with water, and then the water kind of like it wasn't cutting very well, and I just went and started going dry. And when I start getting it really smooth with some like 320 and stuff like that, I'll put some water and stuff on it to smooth it down real good. and it's still pretty smooth even with 80 grit. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm super excited about that. That's one thing I didn't know if it would work. But yeah, sorry about the garage. Garage is always a wreck. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this last. Like I said, I've got to sand this, and then that spot, and then this spot right here, because this is where the stove goes right here, and the sides there, because this was what that piece over there looked like. It was like that right here, and so you can see there's still some in there, but I'm taking her down a little bit. So that's where we're at. It's been raining all day, so I'm doing this in this garage, making a mess in here, but that's where we're at, guys. All right, guys, been out here cleaning the stove up. Looks pretty darn good. I got my little tank hooked up, make sure all the burners are still working good and everything, you know, in case there's any kind of problems. I got the oven on right now. It's our pressure water. You can see the steam coming off the lid, but I've got the oven on right now, so that's splash from the gravels. I'll just wipe it off. But yeah, I mean, it hooks up the same way as the furnace. So tell you what else I've been working on. I'll just show you. I'm working on this cabinet outside. There's my little burn spot. I've been sanding on it a little bit, but it's still cleaned this all up real good. Took all the cabinet hardware off. I just brought it in here, let it dry off a little bit. Been out there pressure washing it, taking the Brillo pad. What else here? Lay this down. Oh, see. As you can see right there, somehow the heat has changed the color of the Vendura. So you see this line right here, and it's not showing up in the camera like that. My eyes has got it too. So somehow the heat, when the plastic fell on this, it changed. The heat changed the color of it. But I got it flat pretty good. It's pretty flat. Also got that's the stove cover. Sand it down real good. There's my broke spot. I'm gonna try to Dremel it out and use the repair kit along with that. But yeah, I mean, that looks really, really good. So that's ready to go back in. This is ready to go back in. Had to steal sawhorses out there to work on that, so I just got this stuff laid in here like this. So both of those are ready to go in there, because I'll do the repair kit while it's installed. So stove's looking pretty good. What else? What else have I got? I'm pretty much ready for the wallpaper in here. It's still a wreck. So I'm just going right over this with peel and stick wallpaper. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. And the part with the clock, I was able to get that down. So I'm just going to go, let's see, stop here. I'm going to go in behind this trim. I got this removed. I'm just going to go right to the wall with it. I'm going to go to about right here. And according to how much I have, I may go all the way across it. Don't know. And then obviously all right here and right here all the way up. So yeah, hopefully in a week this will be done. This will be done, other than painting the ceilings a little bit. This will be done, other than the stove will be back in here, the sink, the countertop, the wallpaper, the cabinets, you know, that little burn spot, refinishing that. All this will be back up here. Okay. And then I told my wife, I said, once all this is fixed, the stove is back in here, the countertop's back in here, wallpaper's up, even with the cabinets off, we'll be on the downhill of the hump. Now, still ain't got the manifolds. Well, I actually got the manifolds, you know. I showed you video on that, on the manifolds on that. But the studs didn't show up because today's a Sunday. I think I filmed when I showed you the manifolds, maybe it was yesterday, maybe it's Friday, today's Sunday, but the studs still ain't here. Still waiting on the studs. But I have replaced 2 of the coil packs. This is all hardware from the cabinets. New plug wires, 2 new gaskets. Replaced 2 of the coil packs because, you know, I made a comment about it had a miss on high RPMs. And is it this one or is it the other one? Oh, it's the other one. But this is, see how a little bit of the coil, the other one is actually broken in 2, and there were the last 2 cylinders on the driver's side. See, so I'll replace them. I got all the plugs installed. All 8 plugs are installed, new plugs, plug wires, obviously I showed them. Up in there. So there's the 2 new coil packs. See, these 2 up here were fine, and the 4 on this side's fine, but these were pretty rusty. You know, that's the ones I just showed you, so I replaced them. So I'm still waiting on my studs. All right. I'll be tickled death to get these manifolds done. So yeah, hopefully I could do, once I get this it just disgusts me to see this mess. Hopefully once I get the cabinet done, all this done right here, I'll clean all this up. I'll clean the floor and everything. And so, I did get my vents put back in. I cleaned a lot of them. Now, obviously, 3 of them over here were bad, melted, and then the 4th one broke when I was cleaning it. So I got to replace 4 of them. So, but I've soaked them in OxyClean. They done okay. So I still got to replace one. That one there. So I got 4 to replace. So I got the crank back up there. So and then I got 2 back here. I had the rag stuffed in here because it got down in the single digits. And I was out here working and I had to, you know, where the heat wouldn't escape. So I got those 2 replaced, one up front. And then this one here. I thought I'd keep the dingy ones, you know, around where the dingy roof was, where it'll match them a little better. So I've done a little bit of painting, but you can see the black tape right there. So it's just regular white spray paint. So I've been doing some tests. It's got rid of some of it, but I got to go back. I'm going to try to get some off-white. And the beige is a little too dark. As you can see right here, this is some of the beige paint. It's too dark. So I got to do some kind of a off-white and spray it. Kind of come up to what that is. That'll be later. I'm going to work on this as that wallpaper gets in here. Oh, another thing is, my fantastic fan, I've completely took it apart. The shroud's obviously in my junk pile, but this is the part that goes around the fan with a knob on it because it quit working. And I checked the voltage and it had 12 volts, and it come to find out there's a switch up here that the fan will only run with which I knew that, but there's a switch up here. Sometimes you can reach it. And I pushed it up and down and sprayed it, and it started working again. So this thing is super nasty, and I've been trying to figure out how to clean it. I am going to have to remove it. So I'm pretty much got everything removed except for my seal around it, and pull my caulk off. And I'm going to take this out and take it completely apart and soak it and scrub it, take the motor off of it and soak it and scrub it, and then mount it back on there. And then, you know, obviously I'll soak and scrub this, and then I'll get the new shroud. You know, the shroud was melted. It's laying out there in a pile. It's right behind the sink there. So, yeah. So, but I have to have special. I can't just go to Lowe's and get the caulk. I got to use Henny's Hong's, H-E-N-G. That's what Winnebago calls for, self-leveling caulk. I can't just go to Lowe's and get caulk. I have to go either the Camping World or order online. So I'm going to order, you know, a couple of tubes of it to do this, and then obviously some other touch-ups. But yeah, that's where we're at. That painting right there, I may hold off on that for a little bit. But obviously I'll have to have that painted, you know, especially, you know, before I put them cabinets back up. But, you know, I've got, the cabinet is super lightweight after I took all the doors off of it, because that's the solid wood. Because technically I'm wanting to get this in here, get this mess cleaned up, and get everything out of here. You know, like I said, get this whole dinette and couch and them 3 chairs out of here, so I can clean the carpets and then clean this stuff up right here. Put it out there. I'm gonna take that big old tarp I've got and throw it out there on the ground and put this stuff on the tarp, so I'm not hitting it with like pressure washer and hit the ground and throw mud all over it. That's you know, like on the front of that stove out there. So yeah, I've got a test. You know, we got a Washington D.C. From the 14th to the 27th of April, 2 weeks, and we got a test camping trip March 22nd, which gives me about 3 weeks when we get back. It's just 3 nights, and we're gonna go out to Nathan Bedford Forest State Park. It's about a 3-hour drive, because the camper, you can test it out right here, because the campground we're going to in DC is a primitive campground. So, you know, you could test it here as far as how it camps, how the power works, how long the batteries last, stuff like that. You could test it right here. It's the driving part. The only time this thing's been drove is from Copart to here, and I parked it here, and it's been sitting since December 5th. When I got it in position and got it level, it's been sitting here since December 5th, and it's already February 10th or 11th. So it's been sitting for 2 months and not drove. So that's half of the reason I'm wanting to hurry and get them manifolds in there and get this fixed. I can clean all this up, run my slides in, but I'm gonna try to get this cleaned enough, because I've got to get the salvage title turned back into a rebuilt title. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, you know, in Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, how to do, it's pretty simple. On rebuilt titles, they want the, like on my car, you know, it just says to send pictures of what the car looked like in its wreck position in each quadrant. So that's 4 pictures of each corner, and it don't say about sending pictures in of the repair. If you read somewheres, it says to include before and after, and then if you read in certain places, it just says before. And this was in 2015. I just included 4 pictures of before, and then got my stuff in the mail, had stamped rebuilt on the title with paperwork to be able to go to the DMV and get taxed for it. And it comes with a little sticker, because if you read on the Tennessee website, it says that, I guess they determine about how much damage the vehicle is, whether they want to send somebody to come out and actually inspect it. And then they'll put the sticker. Let's see, I'll show you the sticker on my car. It's an anti-theft sticker, and I guess they determine on how much damage the car is and how valuable it is. Okay. See that rebuilt anti-theft, and some of it's been scraped away. But that sticker will come in the mail. Rebuilt vehicle anti-theft inspected passed, control number. And you put that on the door jamb. So obviously, I'll put it in here somewheres in this door. Ain't much of a door jamb here, I guess. I guess maybe I can put it right in there somewhere when it comes in here. But yeah, I guess they determine on the pictures as far as if they need to have somebody inspect it or not. So the only thing, and you got to include all the receipts of parts you've repaired, which the only thing I'm going to include receipts is on the wallpaper and the microwave, which microwave I bought it used. I'm just going to fill out a bill of sale and put the guy's name on it that sold me the microwave, and then include a receipt for the wallpaper. Because everything else that I've replaced in this has just been upgrades. So yeah, because I took a picture of it, you know, I think a long ways before I even touched it, and then I'm gonna take a picture of the same position, you know, once I get it all put together, because that's why I'm pushing on this, to get this done, get the picture took, and then send all that information now to hurry up and try to get tags for this thing and then go get insurance on it. But, you know, everything's rolling on it. All right, guys. So there we are. Still got to clean the roof. I've done some tests. Well, I had the pressure washer right here. I've done some test pressure washing. It's going to be a nightmare to clean outside of this thing. And I'm going to tell you why. All right, this is where I've done some tests. You can see the spots, and then you can see it disappear here. Well, see the flakes. That's where I accidentally hit that with the pressure washer, and it took this off and this off and this off. So it's going to be a nightmare. And I just kind of sprayed right in here a little bit. And it's cleaned it, but it's going to have to be real careful. I tried to clean some of this with a Brillo pad, and it just didn't. It didn't take it off like right here with a pressure washer. No. All right, guys. Oh yeah, the studs will be here tomorrow. Wallpaper will be here tomorrow. Those two things right there. And then I'm going to order a bunch of stuff tonight. I'm going to order 4 more vents, some LED lighting stuff, because I'm really trying to push to get the ball rolling on this thing. And obviously, one of the last things I'll do to this thing is obviously buy tires. And I'll put tires on it. Probably, I mean, it's getting real close. And then I got to do the awning. That'll be the 2 last things I'll do to it, is the awning and the tires. And I've already told you about the awning. So yeah, here we are.